It's Lori Christos with Madonna and Child Jewelry. I'm breathing heavy. I'm so worn out. I have been doing a lot of traveling and scrounging and flea marketing and buying things online. So literally, I was so overwhelmed. I'm like, I want to do a video so bad, but it's a mess. Everything I have is in the process of being made, or just completed, or still coming. And if I don't get like a jump on it now, I would do like a 10-hour video. And I don't do live auctions. It doesn't really work for Madonna and Child Jewelry so much because it's religious. So I kind of have like an issue with that. Let's see if my double chin doesn't look as bad that way. Maybe not. Maybe better. Okay, so anywho, I'm going to ramble, but I'm going to try to just be all over the place with things that I'm getting ready for my show with, and these will be things that you're still able to purchase from me if you like them. Some will have prices, some won't. Some are in shorts. I'm just starting to kind of catch up on some shorts. So let's start with one short I just put up. I found this gorgeous, I like calling it an antique, but I'll call it vintage necklace. I just put it up in a short. I found it in LA at a flea market. And let's show you how I can zoom in on this. I always get a glare. But it's all garnets, genuine garnet, sterling silver, and vintage marcasites with a gorgeous, like 2 connectors on each side. I think it's better like that. And it's 23 inches sterling silver. This is like, from this piece down, we're looking at like 4 inches. Absolutely stunning. You can see it really well with a garnet dangle. Beautifully made. There's not a stone missing. It's pristine. And I did a Google image of it, and there's one that has like a chain mixed with garnet beads that was $300. So that's not, obviously, I have a different chain on mine. It was made differently. There was another one that was a pin. That was like $100. Just this was like a pin. So this one is a pendant. Came this way. I didn't do anything to it except for just find it outstanding and love it. And I have it up in a short now, and I'm gonna sell it at my show at like $175. But if anybody on YouTube likes it, I think I lowered the price to like $145 and on the short. And I had it shown with a garnet ring of mine that I actually, I'll sell or not. I've been amassing so many rings that like one of my next videos is just going to be a whole treasure box of rings. My goal in the beginning when I started collecting rings was get things that look sort of regal. So it's like a treasure box at my show, and then it'd be like going through things that they're fine. They're either going to be 10K, 14K, sterling. There's some diamonds, and sometimes I throw them up as little accents in my shorts. But my goal is to just amass a nice collection. Last year when I did my show, I found the rings and these are, I do make rings too, but I found that the ladies were just, everybody loves to buy a ring real fast, put it on, feel like $1 million. This one I just found. This is a 10K and white sapphire band, and I'm like, God, I need it like a hole in the head, but I love it. So I put it on there, but this one will be for sale there. But again, it's 10 karat gold. I think it's a size, I can tell you. But I'm like attached to it right now because, as soon as I get a new ring, I'm like, oh, I love it. I put it on and I'm like, I'll never sell it. And then, I get to the point where, duh, you have 1 million rings, so anyways, that one's going to be for sale, 10K, beautiful, antique ring there with, they said white sapphire, it looks like diamonds to me, so if I sell that one, that's going to be $225, because it's an antique. I just, I buy a lot of bands and I look for a lot of jewelry, but I don't see, look at all the detail, and maybe I'll try this, you have to be able to see the details. See the intricacy there? It's like scalloped with the stone. So this just doesn't look like, to me, your average band. To me, it looks like a treasure boxy band. So that's why Lori likes it. So it's for sale. 200. I think in my show I'd probably put, I don't know, 275. Okay, so I showed you that. In the middle of everything, I'm going to be pulling out weird things that will be sold at my show. This year, I decided to sell a few different things that I normally sell, which I collect vintage purses, vintage wallets. So those are going to be in a box at my show. I'll probably have like, I don't know, maybe 2 dozen, and they'll be great prices because every time I go antiquing, I'm so drawn to everything antique and vintage that I pretty much every time pick up a bag in a mall. And I did again in California. I bought a couple. And of course, one I'm like, I gotta keep it. And then the other one is like, I gotta sell it. So really quickly, I'm not gonna show you all the bags. I'm just gonna give you an idea of the kinds of bags I buy. Everything that is, well, everybody loves peacock. So I thought this was a gorgeous brown leather. It's about a foot wide and about 10 inches tall. And it's got like a double handle. And it's all, you know, genuine, like ostrich feathers on the, like, not embossed, but like really on the bag. It has structure. And then it has a gold tone. This can be removed. This could actually be on your shoulder and you could have a handle, but why would you ever take it off? And then this is a beautiful, like, you know, just gold tone, a little worn from age, snap closure. But see the beautiful detail? And I think, you know, I love peacocks. Everybody loves peacocks, peacock jewelry. And then in here we've just got a couple of slots. Great zipper. Would fit a phone. Would fit plenty of things. But I had the bag, and I'm like, I'm going to bring this bag to my show. And it needs a little bit of like leather oil, which I'm just going to rub something on it, bring it to a little more to life. Because it is an older bag. I'd say this is probably from maybe the 60s. I'd say the 60s, but I guess on bags. And if there is a name, I don't see it. If there is a maker, I don't see it. Anywho, had the bag, gonna sell it at my show. Probably put 95 on it because I think I know what I'd pay to have the price in there. So I just glanced. But what I got excited about is I went to Hermosa Beach by myself. My daughter, I was house sitting for my daughter in LA. And I went to one of my favorite antique stores. And I found like the matching wallet. And this is pristine. It's like nobody ever really used it. So it has such great color. These are real peacock feathers. And then it's got a darling gold tone clasp. Beautiful black like shantung silk, sorry, not black, chocolate brown, shantung silk coin purse, but you could easily put a credit card, a business card, change, money, and you know, when you travel and you want to have smaller wallet, I don't ever carry a checkbook or a wallet anymore. I carry about this size, and especially when I travel and I do like a crossbody, I want a little wallet. So this one, I'm not going to sell it as a set because not everybody's into that. So this wallet, it's the same because this is more pristine and is amazing condition. So I would do like 95 on this and probably do 75 on that. If you like it, let me know, reach out. This is pristine. This just needs a little oil, like something to buff up the leather, like a leather cleaner, just on the side, just to bring it back to life. And so these are like what I'll be showing at my shows, and they'll all be really unique and like one of a kind vibes. I don't, you know me, I don't like anything that is not unique. So this will be gorgeous. And I mean, for fall in Chicago, I don't know who wouldn't want that. So 75 wallet to you guys, 95 purse, and these prices will be higher at my show. They always are because I just paid another table fee for one of my shows. And if I do 2-3 shows, they add up. Like my fees will amass to be, you know, over $1,000 because you're donating a piece, you're giving them a percentage of your sales, plus you're paying a table fee. This year, I might need 2 tables because I've gone above and beyond amassing what I normally wouldn't have this much. And so, yep on that. Okay, so that tells you about how I'm making and going to have bags. Some bags I might adorn, like you never know. I'm going to show you a gorgeous bag. My daughter bought me this little Fendi Let's get that out. You know, little Fendi purses. These are not inexpensive. This is the original, like their logo is smaller. I forgot the name of this particular style, but I mean, I got this in Boca Raton and paid a fortune, so I can show you. I don't think the price is on it, but it's got the original piece on it. But like this one's probably going to be like, you know, $6.95. I actually paid more, and it was like that tourist trip money. Like, oh, I gotta buy something. I'm with all the girls, so I kind of got suckered into it. And then I'm like, well, it's a little small, but these can extend a little, and it can go over your shoulder. So I will have designer. I've got Fendi. This is Crazy Town. I've got Gucci. So I'll show you the Gucci. Oh my God, you guys see, I'm not going to be prepared here because I'm just looking around and seeing what I want to show you, and it's only going to roll my way because I have nothing organized. This is a Gucci. It's a denim, chocolate brown denim, beautiful condition, chocolate leather handles, pristine condition. It's a shoulder bag, so it's a nice size. And this is like 20 inches wide, about 12 inches to here, and then you've got straps. And it can definitely work on the shoulder. And this one came from Real. So I have the bag in there, but this is in pristine condition. Pristine. And for fall, you know, you see the Gucci with the double G's. For fall at my show, I'm going to probably sell this one for like, I don't know, $4.95 to you guys. And I might go up to like $5.75. They're just a lot. And you don't see chocolate brown Gucci denim in a perfect, you know, like slung, what do you call this style, man? I forget. I love this kind of bag, but I forget the name. So anyways, those are what I'm doing. There's going to be some designer, but it's all, of course, going to be vintage. All right, back to the last purse. This one needs a little bit of a repair just because this handle separated. It's Italian leather. I love it, adore it, because it actually is the Italian Florentine leather that you see on so many of my collectible, like things like this, like the Venice Compact. I actually got that from Sue. I carry a wallet like that. This is a business card holder. These are all going to be at my show. All vintage Italian. And this one just has the most gorgeous colors for fall. I adore it. I haven't carried it yet. It does have an inside connected, another silk, like Shantung silk fabric, and a couple of like little slots to put stuff. Great closure, and all I have to do is really use, I don't even need a shoemaker. It's just to epoxy or glue somehow this handle together really carefully, because I don't like it separate. If it's separate like that, it's going to break, and it's not supposed to be that way. So this one is going to be much more because it's antique Italian Florentine, so I'm selling this one for $160, and that's another reason is Lori loves it and will carry it, and I'll never see it again in my life. So it's like at my show I'll probably have $175, but I just want to give you an idea. And yeah, my stuff can be now, as I get into fall, seeming pricier. I'm so stuck here, you guys. It's like a cockpit because there's stuff everywhere. And I wanted to show you one more thing, if I can just grab it without opening the drawer, because I'm stuck in here. I don't think so. It was a wallet. Oh, God, you guys. Where are you, wallet? You guys, I'm losing it. Here it is. Like, it's along the line of this. This is a really beat up wallet that I've carried for a really long time. I adore it. The Shantung silk. But see, this one broke apart, so I can't really sell it. It needs a repair. But I just love it anyway, so I keep like my favorite business cards in it. Sometimes I adorn them and put Madonnas or crosses on them. And I can give you an example of that because I'll show you my pillbox that I made. Oh my God, you guys, forget this. This is going over here. yeah. So like all my like my company business cards, I just put them in like these little old Italian. They're for business cards holders. But it's still a great little wallet to put in your little crossbody with your when you're traveling with a little bit of cash, a little bit of credit cards, and then I usually adorn that, but I haven't done it yet because I get to the point where I'm still thinking about it. And as far as adorning with metals, I kind of have to go through the jewelry part first, and then what's left over, that I might throw a metal or something on it because I want everything to be unique and one of a kind. Okay. The last thing. As I go off on tangents, I wasn't even going to show this stuff. This I made my pill box. So this is an old Italian, like it looks like it had a mirror there maybe at one time because there's nothing there now. And I made it a pearl box, but it could have been like a compact for like powder. I can't imagine what else, but you can see it's Italian Florentine embossed leather on the back, then the beautiful gold and cream. These are all my colors. I love it. So of course I adorned it. I burnished had a nice old cross and an old burnished Virgin Mary heart metal, and I put that together. And I have a gorgeous pill box. So this is mine personally. It has my Xanax in it, but I might bring it to my show. But if I do, it's going to have like 95 on it because it's got 2 metals and it's an old piece. And I like it there just to be displayed. If you ever get to see my shows personally, it's just a treasure table, and everything is Italian or French or Spanish and old and just moody. There's not anything bright. You're not going to see anything, red, white, but there's nothing. It's all going to be muted, gold, old. And it just, if you're into old pieces, it's just going to look like my dog is on my Fendi. Tootsie, do not go pee on that purse. You want to see my toots? I can't even reach her. Do you want to come and say hi? Come here and say hi to everybody. I can't reach you. You got to come over here. Okay, so I'm done showing you that, but I do adorn things when I get the opportunity to adorn. And I did a video on adorning boxes, and I just put that one up. It's got a lot of boxes on it. I'm not going to show you those because they're already in a short video. Toots, want to come here and say hi? Oh, she ran away. But I'm going to show you now that, I found more boxes at flea markets in LA. So this is just a silver tone. It doesn't even have a mirror there. It's just discoloration from time. It has some wood there, and it's a great ring box, jewelry box. It's got like little footed feet, silver tone, and it did have like a beautiful kind of emblem or crest there, but it was so dark and old, and I like it dark and old, that I couldn't see the crest anymore. So I had this cool piece, and I put it on there. I asked my daughter for approval before I ruined the piece, and I put it on there like that. Now it's just a really cool religious vibe box, and you could hold rosaries in it or rings or whatever. Just making sure my dog didn't take off with my good purse. And something like that on my show is going to be, depending on what I paid, this one might go for $75, maybe $95 at my show, $75 to you guys. But these make the best gifts because it's one of a kind. And I kind of try to rebuy the same boxes if they've been successful and I made adornments to them and then sold them. So I kind of go for the same style. But this one was a new one for me. It's about 7 inches wide and about 4 inches deep and about 1 inch high. Just because who wouldn't need that box for all their rings? I know I do. So that one's finished. Here's another one. Just stuff is everywhere, you guys. The boxes can get boring. I'm not going to go long on the boxes. This I bought vintage. It was a vintage music box, but I love it because it's old, messy, dirty brass on the sides and has all this gorgeous, like, detail. You see the cherubs and, like, the columns and all this detail work. I don't know if they call that repoussé, if it's pounded from the back. But inside, it is wood, and the music box broke. John tried to fix it we couldn't fix it, so we just covered it with an extra piece of the wood that came with the box and just made it a jewelry box. You know, it's just a cool one, and moody and dark, and I love mixing like sterling and brass and all, you know, all the tones together. So I think that's a sweetie pie, and this will be at my show for probably like $65. It's just a cool box, and I've never had it. Okay, I'm almost done with boxes. I think I am. I'm going to show you another thing quick that I sell, really quick. Holy water fonts. This is sterling, the Virgin Mary. Now, it could be worn as a pendant. I don't know why it has a hole up there. I just amass like sterling collectibles that are antique, so I kind of bought it for just my collection. It is a real holy water font. It has the original Italian like tag on it. La Pyramid or Spain, maybe it's Spanish, but it's got the beautiful mother and child, and it's about 3 inches, and it's solid sterling. So this will be at my show. I know what I paid, so I probably put $95 on it. I don't make a lot on the religious collectibles unless, you know, I just got a real good deal. This one I found in LA. It's not sterling, but it's really old silver, heavy silver tone with like this cool diagonal like cutout there. And this is Infant of Prague holy water font. Just gorgeous. Infant of Prague. If you notice the detail, this is cherub heads. And again, it's like 4 inches. It's pretty heavy. And this could be hung or just laid down with your collectibles. Could be worn, but I think that's a little weird to wear a holy water font. But it could be hung, like if you have a little collection of art. I know a lot of people now, I have so much to show you guys. I just thought of something else. Are taking frames. Like my girlfriend just did an antique collection in her bathroom, and she has like antique frames that are empty, like maybe so big, and then she hangs these little darling collectibles on the wall, but inside the frame. So it's kind of like, you know, safe. It's not on the frame, it's inset on the wall. I gave her a beautiful sterling mirror, hand mirror, and I had a little handle like that, and she hung it in this collection on her wall. I'm like, that is so smart. That is so cool. But the little pieces that are hangable, if you inset them in an ornate, like sterling, not sterling, but like ornate carved wood frame or something that you have nothing in, then just hang, you could hang 2 of these holy water fonts in it. We're designers. We do a lot of home design, so we get a lot of those ideas from each other. I wanted to show you something else in a frame. Guys, it's all, here it is. Okay, cool. I'll go to that next. Just getting off of religious. Gorgeous, found in LA. Totally antique, stunning, old wood with an easel. Very old. It's still intact. It still works, but it's just really old. I don't like to mess with this stuff and try to fix it sometimes. This is like 4-inch round. This looks like sterling. I didn't even test it. I do have the sterling tester. I don't think it's sterling. I just think it's, God, it's so beautiful. This is all in Spanish. I can't read it. I'll show you though. If you can see it right there. See the beautiful metal inset. It's got like children praying. It's one of the apparitions. I don't know if it's Fatima. I'm looking for it to say. Yeah, it says Fatima. Okay. So this is Fatima. This is when the Virgin Mary appeared. And it's got like sheep and children praying and all these rosettes around it. And this one is $95. I got a good price on it. I don't want to sell it, but it's like when I part, I get sick. I just get sick because I want to collect it all, but that's crazy. Like, why would one person need all of this? This room is, you know, it's turned into an official museum. I could open a store. If I open a store, it's going to be OMG for oh my God, and just sell all these things. But I don't want to sell them. I don't want to part with them. But this one is a gorgeous gift collectible. Just stands on an easel, and I'm going to sell it for $95. And it's going to look great at my show. Okay. Oh, I know I'm going to show jewelry, I promise. Here, I'll throw in some turquoise. Gorgeous ring. stunning. I believe it's turquoise. It has marbling. It has like agate colors in it, some black veining. But look at the stunning. Look at the stunning detail on the side. Can you see it? It's stunning. And it's high. So this is about 1.25 inches. Stunning ring. Sterling. Beautiful detail. And like I said, I believe it's turquoise. You can tell. And then if not, I wouldn't care because it's a stunning stone anyways and goes with every color turquoise. You know, agate, ambers, onyx. I mean, it's got like multicolor in there. Size-wise, another one. Don't want to sell, but can't have it all. Perfect 7. And this one is 95. Because this is an antique. These are not new. This is an oldie but goodie. So 95, and it'll go great with all your turquoise. Another bracelet I found turned out to be smaller than I thought. And it's still a cute little stacker. And it looks like Sleeping Beauty in there. This looks like Mexican silver. Little bracelet with 3 rosettes. But it's like really comfortable if you stack. Like this one could be the one in the front because it's smaller. It's a teeny one though, so I'd say you'd have to be like a 6 to be able to pull that one off. And this one I'm just selling for $65. I don't really need to make a lot of money on it. But it's precious for stacking because this is the one that stays up in the front. And then you can do boom, boom, boom. $65, you guys. If you like it, text me 708-217-1600. Snap a picture of it. It's gorgeous. Older piece. Not new. Okay. Let's throw in one more. I was going to throw in some more turquoise, but then I sold 3 of my most gorgeous turquoise rings yesterday. So hasta la vista to those. And congrats to that buyer. She got a great price of 3 stunning turquoise rings. So I don't have those today. But this is a great one for $45. I'm going to go $45 on it. It's inlaid onyx coral. Looks like, I don't know what the green is. Maybe green onyx. No turquoise. Well, maybe it's turquoise. It's like a green though. Let me see. Could be turquoise, but size-wise, it's just a stunning, nice, big size ring. Take this off. I decided I need to put a magic marker on these numbers. It's like a 6 1/4, but it's another one that covers the knuckles. I think I'll go, sorry, you guys, I'll go 48 on it. I mean, I'm sure I paid, you know, so close to that. But just a gorgeous one to layer up with all your other turquoise. 45, 48, whatever. If you guys like it, snap a pic. I go back sometimes and just watch the video and see what I said for price. And if you remember the price, just put it in. So I do have like 3 little native Southwesty vibe pieces in there. I do have more. I'm kind of hanging on to it because when I do my show, I need a whole collection of it. And if I wean down more pieces, I don't even think it'll be enough to have a collection. Okay, so I showed some jewelry. Let's keep showing some things I'm making. This is signature Madonna and Child. I find like cool cuffs. So this is like a hammered brass cuff. It's like asymmetrical. It's not meant to be like totally even. Asymmetrical like that. And I put an old antique, larger, like 1 1/4 miraculous metal. So it looks like a bronzy tone metal in there, but this is brass. And then I just end up adorning them with old vintage rhinestone necklaces. And so they pop. And this is the only one I have so far, but I make a maybe not even 6, maybe like 3 or 4 every season. And they sell like that because they're just a really cool, it's upside down, but a really cool vibe. And it's funky. A lot of Madonna and Child is funky. And then I go classic and estate and all that. But this would be a funky Madonna and Child. This one would be 95. And you've got the antique metals, the rhinestone. And it's very reminiscent of like Virgin Saints and Angels from back in the day. But I was making it, believe it or not, before that. But that's all mass-produced and reproduced. It's not antique. So this is a vintage hammered brass cuff. Sturdy, not lightweight. Like it takes a lot to pull it. And a nice antique metal. And just one of a kind. One of a kind. Just one. Not a bunch. That'll probably go in a short. Okay. I know I'm a spaz. I would love to have... My jewels are all on the fritz, and I can't get anything out of them. It makes me crazy. Okay. Along the line of that, every year I start doing adorned lockets with Virgin Marys. This is the locket. This one just looks like a... it's actually, oh my God, I can't even believe it, an Avon piece, but I don't care. Bought it in LA at a flea market. It's vintage Avon, like cutout or filigree locket. It's like 2.5 inches, and right there in the center had absolutely nothing at all. I didn't change the color. I didn't burnish. I didn't shine it. I had the perfect Mary metal because I have so many, and I just put her right in there. And then I think I'm just going to go, if they're around... I mean, I thought it'd be cool, like, as a statement short, but my customers like the longer ones on a locket, so I might just go a long gold tone crystal glass antique rosary bead or vintage and make it a long necklace. This one has spacers. This one doesn't have the cross on it, but this one has really old Lord spacers, so I don't know if I'm going to use this one because I'd have to take all the spacers off because it doesn't match. But tell me if you like it. I have chunky gold chains. I could put it on a pearl gold tone rosary and make it longer short. But prices like this would probably go for $75 depending on what I put it on. I'm going to pause. My doggy has to go out. Okay, I'm back. Okay. I'm feeling better once I show you guys a lot of these collectibles and special little jewelry finds, and I can go and do hopefully some normal shorts and videos. I just don't know how to show, so many different things, but they're all, we're starting to get to really religious stuff at this time of year for me, mostly because of my shows, but it doesn't mean that I'm not still buying, like pieces like this, gorgeous jewelry, because I'm going to have plenty of that. Okay. Also, using vintage postcards. I've already shown you guys some of these vintage antique postcards, mother and child, and I find old, like wood ornate frames. I broke the glass on that, so I have to still fix it. Stuff like that is either, display or for sale at my shows, depending on if I can find a 3x4, glass, which I need a bunch of them. A bunch of broken frames. These are adorable. A long time ago, I was treasure hunting with my girlfriend, and I'm the religious nut, but she found a little Madonna and Child like this. It's a little, it's called Sebastiani. And they're made of like ceramic. And she had one really beat up, and we found it on like the dregs of God knows where we were. In like a basement, and I'm like, oh, because she nabbed it first. I don't blame her, and she collects a few nice pieces. Sorry about my dog. So I'm like putting it out to the universe. We were shopping the other day in Indiana, of all places, and I'm like, keep an eye out for one of those little statues, because I want one so bad. She finds this one, so I almost fell over. These are from the 50s. This is Madonna of the Chair, which was Raphael's painting. And it's a beautiful, like, hand-painted, Tootsie Shush, hand-painted little figurine. Where's my camera again? Over there. Okay, so you can see there's still beautiful detail. And my tell is always the eyes. If the eyes look like Barbie dolls, no, it's too new. But this is just exquisite. The books on the floor, just stunning. So we found one. So then the one I found, actually when I took the price off, but it had the sticker Sebastiani. So he finally was like, yay, Sebastiani. So I ended up finding a few more online. So I got the whole collection. I think there's only 3. There's another one, I'm not going to take it down. Religious, and they do like weird, they don't just do religious, they do like all kinds, but these are older. Some, I think I got about like maybe a handful of different ones, and some came in the original boxes, so I'm just keeping them that way for my show. But I'm going to put like 45 a piece, depending on what I paid on these collectibles, and I think there's still a trio available. The third one is another Raphael. I'm going to take it down because there's like on top of stuff, and if it falls, they could break. But they're miniatures, Sebastiani. I'm sure you can find some, but they go for like, 30 a pop. But, the religious ones are so hard to find. And I nabbed up every one I could find pretty much online for my show. So I'm selling them for 45 a piece. An amazing gift for anybody for Christmas that loves vintage religious. So I've got 2 here that are going to be mixed in with my boxes, but I have a few more in their original boxes. So if you guys like any of those, let me know. The third one, can I get it? Yeah. The third one, it says, Sebastiani. This is another Raphael painting, and it's very famous. And I died because I have all the collectible, like, I have the reproduction paintings. So I was so excited about those. So I do have those for 45. I just have a handful. If you want any of them, let me know now, because otherwise there's going to be no short. They're just going to a show, and I'll sell them all day long. I'm going to take a breath. Throw in a beautiful rosary. So this, I love Spanish. I love silver gilt, filigree. And I had a necklace once that I sold, I think to one of the customers of that watched a live, but a silver gilt rosary. This is silver gilt. These are very expensive. This is a silver gilt rosary box, all filigree. It's got a baby rosary in it. This one's $95 because it has a baby rosary in it, like an orange and pearl. This will go to my show, but they're only like an inch, but they're so collectible and so expensive. And I found the rosary, and then I ended up finding a silver gilt, so it's gold tone, filigree cross. And I'm like, I'm going to put it on. Well, you know what? No. I'm going to save that for something else. And I decided I just put a little spring ring on it. But look at the beads. You see how gorgeous? Yeah, it just zoomed and you could really see the bead. And it just makes a perfect rosary necklace. It's got a filigree heart. It's got a crucifix, very subtle. And it makes a gorgeous necklace. And you know how everybody's, always wearing those rosary necklaces that are made to be necklaces? Well, this one is my version of that. It's an antique silver gilt, that's the back, rosary. And it's more of like, not child's, because it's not really teeny or baby, but it's more of a smaller size. So this is, every single bead is intact on this rosary. And then all I ended up doing was adding a little bit of extension and a spring ring there. And it looks like it came this way, but it's basically turned itself into its necklace. And this is like adorable. Of course, I'm going to keep this too, but you got to put it out there. So I'm selling this one for, the rosary alone, when you just find Spanish silver gilt, they go for hundreds of dollars, and this one makes a perfect pendant. And I love how it drops perfectly. So you have like the heart here and the drop. It's perfect. So this one I'm selling for $160, and that's going to be a show price too, because it's a gorgeous rosary necklace, and it's antique. Like, this is not made in 1970. This is made in like Spain. Some of these come in from Italy. This is in stamps, so I think it's Spain, because the Spanish ones are called silver gilt. And I had a monstrance, which is a religious pendant, that was silver gilt once. But I don't get silver gilt a lot because it's super expensive because it's antique and I can't resell. And unless I have to have it for myself, I don't want to pay like $300 for this because I'm like, well, I can make something similar. Unless it's something I've never seen, then, you know, I won't buy it. But this one is just the sweetest necklace. Like, who wouldn't want that? And 160 is because, go try to find a silver gilt because it's sterling. It's not vermeil. They don't call it vermeil, and they call it silver gilt because it doesn't look silver. It looks like real gold. And you wear this with all your real gold, and it looks amazing. Okay, love it. Just wanted to show you. I love it so much. I love it. And I don't wear rosary necklaces. Like, I take rosaries apart. Like, this one has no cross. But my new thing is that I'm not, I never did in the past buy a lot of sterling silver rosaries, obviously not to make jewelry with because they're so expensive. So now that I'm investing more in my jewelry, and mostly because of YouTube too, like this is another like silver plate box. I might not adorn it. I'm having trouble. But inside we're going to find like sterling rosary bracelets, another sterling rosary, gorgeous crucifix. But I'm gonna, and here's a beautiful like oblong faux pearl, but these are sterling, stamped sterling, like Italy. So I'm just gonna sell these. These make beautiful gifts. I don't hardly ever have intact rosaries for sale at my shows, especially sterling, because these can go for $300. So I'm just gonna put nice prices on them for a gift, like probably $125 a piece for the rosaries, which they're worth it all day long. There's a crystal, there's a pearl, and they'll be great gifts. And then somebody could buy a box or not to put them in. So, I mean, my booth is like, literally, if somebody's into my jam, is like the only place you need to go shopping. I have people that come in and just buy for everybody in the family because they're Catholic or they're a religious family, or, you know, so, or they're not, or they're funky. So they can do, it's like one-stop shop at my booth. All right, I'm almost done. I'm just showing you some crazy things that I'm working on. Okay, you guys might have seen this cross. I had her hanging on my beautiful antique Spanish Madonna. And it's a 4-inch, I swear it's 5 inches. It could be 5, 4.5, whatever. It's an antique Italian micro mosaic. Now, this isn't the mosaics that are like newer and brighter gold. This is the old one. See all the detail? See all the like wire work? And this is a pectoral style, like a priest would wear. You know, of course, I sell these, but this is one of the biggest ones I've ever been able to buy because I don't ever see them. So this is like literally a $500 cross out in the world. Can you see the detail? There's a little bit of a glare, but stunning. So I'm like, well, I'll just hang it on my Madonna. And I had it on like this gorgeous chain. And I'm like, I need this chain. Like, this is a gorgeous chain. And nobody's really going to, I think, buy this to wear at my show. So I'm like, why don't I make a collectible out of it? Like, and then if somebody wants to wear it, they can just take it right off of this. But so I have this gorgeous, like, you know, swivel, old, antique, church style, old wood, beat up, gorgeous, beat up frame. And I never had a glass for it because it was so old that it broke. So I'm like, my boyfriend, John, just X-Acto knifed out this gorgeous, my favorite color, this like salmon orangey, it's really more salmon reddy orange. And then we just put it right on top with a nail, and the nail went through, but I'm going to work on that. But, and I just display, I'm going to bring it to my show and display it, and I am going to put a price on it as is this way. And I know what the cross goes for. The frame, I don't have a ton in it. It's not bad. It's just a one-of-a-kind collectible that we made. And if you ever wanted to adorn, like lay the cross down on a gorgeous Bible, or give it to, you know, anybody that's super religious or a priest, or just have, it's like literally art, because the Florentine artisans made this. And always at this age, there's tiles out and you have to repair it. This is pristine. So if anybody likes this, I'm selling the whole thing together at like so hard. I'm going to say $245, and at my show it'll probably be $275. And if somebody doesn't buy it, it doesn't matter. It goes back in my room for a year. It goes back to the show the next year. And when you see this laid out with my jewelry, and my new things I'm collecting, it is breathtaking. And if it's your thing, it will speak to you. My whole table, you'll get like, oh, when you look at it, because I do, and it's been 30 years, and my clients do, and it's because it's a collection of years of amassing and things in a box that haven't been finished, but then this year work perfectly like this. So it's just how it rolls. And at the end of a show, I don't usually have a lot left over. But like I said, this year we're seeing really big treasures that, you don't find. You just don't find, and you don't obviously ever want to part with, because look at the colors in my room. And then look at this. And, if you think Lori wants to say goodbye to this, she doesn't, because she is a hoarder. But a hoarder of religious, there has to be a better word, because that can't be negative. Okay, here's my new obsession. And I've always had them. I've always collected them. I wasn't obsessed yet. They're crowns. So, like this one my girlfriend gave me as a gift. These are not expensive. These little suckers are expensive. Like this one would go for over $100. It is, again, looking like silver gilt, but it's not. It's just like a burnished gold metal. I don't know if they ever came bright. They might have been brighter when they originated, but it's got the little stone and the cross. But these are Spanish style. These would be basically the crown for the infant of Prague. And they sell them now, and they put them on Mary's. I can see my Mary back there. I found a little one for her head. But they put them on Mary statues. They put them on infant of Prague statues. They just collect them. You can have a whole case of these collectibles. But this one is so small that I put it on top of my perfume bottle because I have no room in my room. But I had one, and it's up on a short, and it was kind of like embellished by me. Just the bottom. I'm like, I'm just going to put a little something snazzy on it, and then I'm going to put it on, like, I put it on top of, like, when I sell jewelry at my shows, or in my shorts, I kind of put them on top of these, and it's just cool. So I started to go through my stuff, and I'm like, why don't I just, adorn them more and make them, like, really cool and, like, super bougie. So this is up in a short. I don't remember the price. It's probably not inexpensive. But it's got, like, layers and layers of jewelry. So you're seeing vintage, rhinestone necklaces, vintage silver tone cross atop another cross. And I've bought this cross for jewelry and sold it many times, but I'm like, it can't just be plain. So I use that piece. That's like a $30 cross right there. An old religious metal Virgin Mary in the bronzy color. Then I had deco pieces off of a broken piece of jewelry, so I just did it kind of halfway around, and then added these big honkin' pearls that I actually thought were real pearl because I had broken them off of a necklace because I love pearl. And this thing is stunning. So it's going to be at my show. I'm using it in my shorts. I usually kind of go like that, and it is for sale, but again, it's something that I can never make again. It's a one of a kind. So that got me on, once I made that and it came out so beautifully, it got me on making another one. So I was able to make another one. This one took a lot. So what happened was, it's in a short. I have a lot to say, but I bought a half of a mannequin, and I have like 10 Peruzzi necklaces on it. And I'm like, at my show, I'm going to stand it with no feet on my table, but it's just got nothing at the head. It's just a stump, kind of like these displays. So I'm like, I want to make one or buy one that goes right on the stump, on top of the stump. So I found this, like, just an old brassy one that I actually, like, made old. It was kind of like left out, I guess, in the rain or something. Maybe it was outside on a religious statue. I don't know. But I ended up adorning it with rhinestone necklaces, the antique Virgin Mary medal, just an old brassy cross that I had that I never use. But I love when I go through my box, what I call junk, and I whip something like this up. And all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, this is stunning. Like, this is gorgeous. And I'm going to start selling them, but I'm not going to be able to whip them out because these are antique pieces. This, I'm not sure how old that piece was, but these are all antique pieces and one of a kind, and would work on top of a statue, but it goes and it fits perfectly on top of my mannequin. I can't show it yet. I'm not turning it around, but like if I sell something like this, it would be like $145, but it's staying for now on top of my mannequin because it looks perfect, and it doesn't just look like some dumb mannequin. It ties in all the jewelry. Last thing in the crown department out there that I found was a Spanish crown. So this is an old one. This is an antique. Does it have the stone on either side? No. It's missing one little stone, which I can probably find something similar and put it in there. But this is a really old one. Really old one. And if you see the price, I bought it in for $100. That was the price, the retail price at a really bougie flea market, Santa Monica Airport, which has really great dealers, and they don't really sell junk. So this is what I'm collecting now. So these are all, going to be at my shows. This one, of course, I'm using right now for displays and my jewelry and my shorts. But this one will be for sale for like $160. And you can go on eBay now and try to buy one, and these are all $200-$300. So I got a good deal, but resale, I don't expect a lot of people are going to want to shell out $200-$300 for one of these, which is fine. I'll use it for display, and I'll keep them, and I'll amass them, and I don't want to sell them, but they are always going to be for sale because there's nowhere in this room. There's nowhere in this room to even put this can of Coke. It's hanging off my desk. Okay. I bought a purse, and I went through all my old purses to start pulling. Okay, if I'm going to sell purses this year, pull the vintage ones. So I started pulling them. And of course, when I buy bags, they're usually at antique stores. So I opened up that one with the peacock, and inside was like jewelry that I bought, but that they packed in the purse and that I never saw. A lot of it was like just, nothing like I had to jump for joy, like little things that I was going to make jewelry with. But then I'm like, whoa, I never even remember this. It's upside down. This was in that purse. So this looks like a resin, beautiful, looks like a carved, but it could be a mold, but resin, beautiful woman, like Art Nouveau. Silver tone. It's obviously costume. I don't like the word costume because it's an old piece. You can see by the closure. Kind of has a little bit of a clamper vibe or cuff, but it does have the original safety clasp on it. This is like the inside. So this is all silver tone. It's an immaculate condition. It looks like it has like carnelian stones here to kind of pick her up. But this is gorgeous. So I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And like I said, I've never seen it. So stunning piece, very large. Like she's like 2 inches down. And I'll show you the detail if I can find. It's like right here. This is long again. Just pause it, come back if you want. This goes. See the detail on her? So there's not a stone out. There's not any of that silver open work that's on top out. So I'm like, wow, this is a gorgeous piece. So this is going to be $125 at my show, and I'm selling it for I'll do $85 if you guys see it from this. This won't even be on a short because it's too cool. I want to bring it to my show, and it's just such. I mean, I have probably 100 bracelets at my show. Mostly 90 out of 100 will be sterling or gold filled. So this one would be what I would consider just vintage piece or costume. I don't know the age, but I don't know if that's check piece or not. It's not signed that I can see, but pristine. So $85 if you like it off this video, and I'm going to do probably $95, probably $125 at my show because it's stunning. And people walk around and they're bored and they just put it on and then they're like, whoa. And they're like, you know what? Yeah, I'll take that. Or I'll gift it. And then they end up keeping it and not gifting it and then calling me later and say, do you have another one? Because I kept it. And I'm like, no, it was a one of a kind for me. I only saw one. So that is Lori rambling on, buying more little boxes, little plain rings that I will adorn, stuff like this in vintage brass that will have Madonnas or rhinestones on them. Perfect size for a rosary or pill box like these are unfinished. Beautiful. It looks like a rosary locket, old with the Virgin Mary silver tone. This came from my dealer in Argentina. It's a rosary, but I'm going to make it a necklace locket. I don't have a baby rosary in it. And this one on its own is going to go for $85. But I'm going to make a necklace and put it on probably some rosary beads, or maybe make a whole locket necklace, because I also have like a Rome locket. I just don't want to overdo it, because then the prices are, they're astronomical, because we're dealing with all antique and like rare souvenirs or one-of-a-kind pieces, and it just makes the price go up. So if you see anything here, finished, unfinished, jewelry, questions, crowns, frames, boxes, you can text me at 708-217-1600 and ask me about it. And I don't have a lot of prices in this video, but if it's for sale, I'll give you a price, and I'm very fair. And I'll come back in like less than a week with, Madonna and Child jewelry. I think I've shown more of the collectibles now, so I got that off my chest, and now I can concentrate on just showing the jewelry, and not going to be so much on the turquoise, because unless I go out and find pieces like this that look, rare and unique and old, I'm not picking it up, because I just don't want the average stuff. So I'm going to say hi and bye for now, and keep watching my shorts, and let me know what you think of my crowns. Are they crazy? Where's my other one? I think they're cool. I mean, I wouldn't expect somebody to want like 100 of these really adorned ones, but I think they came out cool. So this is my new jam. So let me know what you think of them. And love you all. And this is almost an hour, so if you're really bored, this will be fun to watch. Bye now.